I want to give a practical way how to overcome rejection. Rejection is something that people of all cultures, countries, ethnic groups have gone through. But really, it seems to be getting worse, people who deal with rejection. Oftentimes, rejection can be inherited from family because most often than not, the problems that you deal with, your ancestors have dealt with. And rejection has many roots. For a lot of people, is not having a father around or having the disapproval of a father. Maybe it's getting rejected by someone you liked, a girl or a boy. Maybe there was a significant event in your life which caused you to feel insecure and inadequate, and maybe you were looked over compared to other people. Rejection is a very deep stronghold and it affects many people. But as a root, rejection also can breed pride, it can breed sexual immorality, and also people pleasing. Pride, because a lot of people who are rejected, to make up for what they believe they lack inside themselves, they overcompensate by being very proudful, very arrogant. Nobody can tell them nothing. They're always right. It's always been me. I don't need nobody else. Another symptom of rejection is people pleasing. You believe that people carry your own self-worth. So the ultimate, acceptance is from people, which will have you bending over backwards to get approval from people who can care less about you. And I mentioned sexual immorality. A lot of people who've dealt with rejection are in some kind of sexual deviancy. They're addicted to pornography, masturbation. They have a lot of one-night stands. A lot of them end up as prostitutes, possibly even homosexuality. Because believe it or not, I see that a lot of gay men are actually men who've been rejected by their fathers or feel rejected one way or the other. And as somebody who's dealt with rejection myself for a majority of my life, here are some tips that I learned that helped me overcome this stronghold. Understand that it's not your fault. If I'm speaking from personal experience, a lot of my rejection came from the fact that my father wasn't in my life, especially the years which a young boy needs his dad. And many times throughout my life, I was rejected by people because I was different. I wasn't involved in their negative activities or their negative mindsets, and just overall feeling like an outcast because I just couldn't relate to people. Rejection makes you feel that you're the problem. You're the reason why people don't like you. So rejection causes people to think, I got to change something in myself to finally be accepted by people. Part of overcoming rejection is understanding that it's not your fault. Human beings are faulty creatures. Are you really going to judge your worth based on human beings' perception of you? It's not your fault that your mom left you. It's not your fault that your dad wasn't there. It's not your fault that your siblings treated you unfairly. Understand that you're not the underlying issue. Dealing with faulty human beings who have issues themselves. Because you're raised in a culture that has people worship the approval of other people. Society and culture and people around you are constantly reinforcing that something is wrong with you. Because somebody who's been rejected a lot ends up rejecting themselves. Sometimes you see people do self-harm, cutting themselves. This can also lead to depression and eventually suicide, which is something that I've been through myself. The main root of rejection is identity. Where is your identity based on? Or who is your identity based on? I believe that it's from God, because my identity is found in God's love for me. Because God loves me and God created me for a purpose, I am valuable. And the matter of other human beings see that or not is not my problem. Also understand that human beings are a terrible judge of character. A lot of human beings are biased, and because of their own internal issues, they're not going to give you a fair review of yourself. And 1 second people like you, 1 second people don't like you. So do you really want to base your identity off of a creature that is always swayed by their emotions? Another thing that helped me with dealing with rejection is, do I actually want the approval of certain people? Human beings are very good advertisers and they're very good liars. And a lot of people market themselves in a way to feel like their opinions matter and their views of you matter. A lot of times you have to sit back and think, do I really want the approval, or do I need the approval of this person? I can look at somebody and tell that they don't even love themselves. So why should I expect them to love me or accept me? Like recently I was working this job, and there's this dude and there's this other guy who I worked with as well, and he had severe insecurities. So much he was trying to get approval of this other guy because the other guy seems like he was that man. He seemed like he was cool. But I saw through the bluff, and I saw a lot of his bad character, and I made up in my mind, I don't care whether he likes me or not, but just based on who he is, I wouldn't care if that person liked me or not. Because part of overcoming rejection is understanding who you are. What were you created to do? Where are you supposed to be? Kanye West, for example, knew who he was supposed to be and knew what his life purpose was. He pursued it relentlessly. And because he didn't care about the rejections he got from Rockefeller, people saying he can't rap, he should just stick to producing, he had to believe without a shadow of a doubt that he would become the superstar he is today. Do you think someone like Kanye West cares about what some random person thinks of him? He's Kanye West. So the thing I'm trying to reinforce is know who you are, know who you're supposed to be, who did God create you to be. and believe deep in your heart that that's you. Because it all starts with the renewing of your mind. This is something you have to meditate on and actually get deep inside your subconscious. The main point I want to drive in is that it's not your fault. It's not your fault that people don't like you. It's not your fault that people left you. There is nothing inherently wrong with you because you were created in God's image. And your identity should be based on God and what he sees of you and what he created you to do, rather than the approval of other people. You have to get to that point where you just don't care about what people think, because you understand that the opinions of human beings don't really matter, including their views of you. You think a president or a king cares about what some random peasant thinks of him? He's a king. She's a queen. They're royalty. Who cares? And it's not out of a prideful thing like, oh, don't you know who I am? No. That's still insecurity that comes from rejection. It's having a firm belief that you know who you are, that it doesn't matter what people say to you because you already know the truth about yourself. That's what helped me overcome rejection. So I think this video might be long. I'm really interested to know what you guys think about what I said. Have you guys dealt with rejection? Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe, hit that bell as well to get notified whenever I post a video. All my social media information is on the screen. Also, it will be in the links below. Check out these videos right here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.